Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and this is my review for Star Wars Episode 7. It's got spoilers all over it. If you haven't seen the movie, go see the movie and then come back and watch this. If you have seen the movie, let's talk about it. So, I'm going to be talking about Bala Tik. He's a really wonderful character in Star Wars Episode 7. Bala Tik he's such a great character, and I think one of the reasons why I really like Bala Tik is he is really interesting in how he really shapes the Star Wars universe. So Bala Tik is the leader of a Guavian death gang. Right? It was never in Star Wars before. There weren't death gangs in Star Wars before. And so Bala Tik is the leader of a Guavian death gang. And so the first time we see Bala Tik is when his ship connects with the Eravana. And the Eravana is the freighter that Han Solo and Chewbacca have that they're using to go find the Millennium Falcon, right? And so so Bala Tik rolls onto the Eravana, and he rolls on like, real hardcore dude, and he's got these dudes dressed up in this in like body armor and like military tactical helmets that are red and black. So his gang is red. Their color scheme is red and black, and so Bala Tik he comes on. It's just so funny. He comes on and he and opens up an airlock. And he yells down, "Hey, Han Solo, we found you. We come to get our 50 grand back, our 50,000 credits that you borrowed to go hunt these Rathtars," right? So this is just such a great scene. Like, this is the first time we see Han Solo, and Bala Tik is there to define Solo. Like, Han Solo is, he is such a legendary character, and here we're seeing his Han Solo's awesomeness just elevated by Bala Tik, right? So by Bala Tik coming onto the ship and saying, we're here to get our 50,000 credits, in just like another minute, another gang comes on that Han Solo borrowed 50,000 credits from. So if you're thinking, like, if you're paying attention and you Sherlock all this together, you put all these pieces together, right? Han Solo went to a death gang, borrowed 50,000 credits to go hunt Rathtars, right? Rathtars are insanely dangerous creatures that he's got 3 of in another freighter, right? So this is like Han Solo's second ship, right? And so he's got these Rathtars. They're outrageously dangerous creatures, and and so so again, you're just mounting how cool Han Solo is. Han Solo marinates himself in danger and risk. And really there's never a point where Han's like, it's too much, I can't handle it. He's always saying, hey, I can handle whatever comes my way, and I'll talk my way out, I will fight my way out. And it's very clear that Han Solo likes to be in the mix of it. He wants to be where the action is. So he has cheated two of these gangs, and I think what he is doing is he's borrowing, and so Bala Tik is just so amazing, right? But what Bala Tik shows is why we care about Star Wars so much, right? So I am a geek, I am part of nerd culture, and we have a belief within geek and nerd culture that we live the best lives because we live many lives, right? People out there who don't read science fiction, don't read fantasy, read contemporary fiction. One, if you're reading, I love you, but if you're out there and you read science fiction and fantasy, you have no end of worlds to live in. So, me, Scott Garibay, where do I, I just, this movie is so special to me because it makes me stop and reflect on how incredibly blessed I am. So what are the worlds that Scott Garibay lives in? This is the number one world, right? This is where I live. This is where my wife is. This is where my kids are. This is the main world. And I spend as much time here as I can, right? But because I'm a science fiction and a fantasy geek and nerd, I get to live in as many worlds as I want, right? I live in the Lord of the Rings world. I live in the Marvel world. I live in the DC world. I live in the Star Wars world, right? And I think it's hard for people who are outside of our culture to understand why we care about these movies so much, why we care about these books, these comic books, these video games, these films, these stories. Why do we care about this stuff so much that's not real, right? And the reality is, for us, it's real. And Bala Tik is why it's real. Bala Tik is why Star Wars is amazing, and Bala Tik is why Multiple Worlds is amazing, right? So Bala Tik is here, and he's just a minor character. He rolls onto this ship, and he's really strong and and dangerous, like he's part of this death gang. And just his presence there tells us, Han Solo is running this game against two gangs, right? He's taking money from them to go get these outrageously dangerous animals, right? Which he is going to sell. And the reason, and so all this, makes you think, whoa, that's not cool. Han's cheating these people. He's getting these dangerous creatures, and he's like imprisoning these creatures, and he's going to take them and he's going to sell them somewhere. But Han Solo is a smuggler with a heart of gold, right? And the reason why I think he's doing all this is he is trying to get back the Millennium Falcon, right? That's his ship. That is Chewie's ship. That was Lando's ship. That was Nien Num's ship, right? Millennium Falcon is special, right? And and I think that's why we all love Han Solo. Is Han Solo has a heart of gold. At the end of the day, he's going to do the right thing. He might, break a few rules getting there, but and so that's the thing is, and so Bala Tik, the guy who plays Bala Tik, his name is Brian Vernal, and he is an Irish actor. There's just so much I love about Bala Tik, this gang leader. So one of the things I love that in Star Wars, they don't explain why somebody has a super thick Irish accent, right? They're like, of course people have Irish accents, and that's one of the things I love about Star Wars is it is just so inclusive, right? They're saying, in this world, everybody's here, And another thing I like about Bala Tik and Brian Vernal, and I love about the Star Wars films, is they really do a great job of elevating, no pun intended here, short guys, right? So I have come to believe this really weird topic, and I'm going to talk about it here. So basically, we as human beings, I think, we all want to treat each other equally. We want to treat each other fairly, but we are broken creatures, and so a lot of times, because we're frightened or because we're we just, we are comfortable with what we know. We're not always inclusive, right? And so one of the things I think is, like when a lot of men, so, right, I believe weight is to men as height is for women, right? So many men today like women to be very skinny, right? And it's a really destructive thought, right? And so a lot of guys, they're not as concerned about when women are smart or when they're creative or when, if they're skinny, they'll put them in a higher register, right? They'll give them more deference or they'll pursue them more, right? And so this is a problem for many men. We need to see women as, as beautiful creatures who, beautiful human beings, I should say that. And we should not give more deference or spend more time pursuing someone because they're skinnier. It's a ridiculous thing, right? And as a man, I remember when now I'm married, so I'm fortunate to have a beautiful wife, but this is something within our base nature that we need to get rid of, right? And Star Wars helps with this. And Star Wars is helping us to become better human beings. That's why I love Star Wars, right? And so to women, I think many women have the same relationship with men and height. So if a man is taller, women are more likely to think higher of that person, to give them more deference, to spend more time trying to pursue them just because they're tall, right? This is ridiculous. It's bad on both sides. As men, we need to not really care if a woman's skinny, and as women need to not care if men are tall, right? It's just, we need to get rid of this. And Star Wars is helping with this. It's helping tremendously with this, with this topic, where Poe Dameron's pretty short, right? Bala Tik is pretty short. Bala Tik is little tiny dude, right? But he leads a Guavian death gang. He's the leader of the Guavian death gang, right? And he rolls up on your ship and is like, hey, I know you got a bunch of Rathtars on here, but I'm here to get my 50,000 credits, right? And so he's big. Bala Tik is big in presence, you know? And so I love that Star Wars is helping us to shatter these old base nature, you know, things that are in our heads, these prejudices. And I think it's really great that they put so many short guys in this movie, and not only just short guys like, oh, you know, you're in here, but short guys with big roles, and saying short guys matter as much as tall guys, you know. And so I really love Star Wars. It's so special to me, and I think it helps us to be better human beings because it's helping us to get rid of these base nature, these prejudices we have in our head. And you know, and I definitely have prejudices, and I try to be aware of them, and I'm trying to get rid of them. And so when I see you know, Star Wars saying, hey, aliens and humans together, and you know, we need to all do everything we can to give everybody a chance and let everybody play in the league. You know, everybody gets a chance at bat. That's really special. It's a big part of Star Wars. So Bala Tik, Brian Vernal did a fantastic job with this role as Bala Tik, this Guavian death gang leader, and his role on the Eravana, the freighter that Han Solo and Chewbacca stole, was really, really unique. The other thing I think is great is, you know, Bala Tik's presence really defines Han Solo and Chewbacca, right? And that's the other thing is Chewbacca, man, poor Chewbacca. Dude, like, you know, you are Han Solo's best buddy, so you're constantly getting dragged into all this chaos, right? And Chewbacca is always down, right? Like, Chewbacca, there's 2 death gangs there. Like, you know, like, it would be okay for Chewbacca to say, I'm out. You know, we're jetting. I'm going to go hit, you know, one of the escape pods. I'm getting out of here. You know, any rational being would not stand next to Han Solo, right? Chewbacca always stands next to Han Solo and never, ever blinks. Doesn't matter if there's 2, you know, it doesn't matter if there's a death gang and another gang coming at you. Chewbacca is there. He is down for whatever comes, and he will stand by your side. He will die by your side. That is so clear, right? And so, you know, Bala Tik, man, you know, that's like 4 or 5 dudes with lasers. And then, you know, like a minute later, a gang on the other side, you know, same thing's happening, and you got Rathtars in the spaceship. So it just all elevates, you know, how marinated in danger Han Solo is. Like, he is just constantly pushing the edge, right? Doesn't matter, like, he's going to get his goals done. And the thing is, he's looking for the Millennium Falcon, right? And it does not matter how many gangs he needs to cheat to get there. Doesn't matter how many people are going to shoot at him. Like, you know, it's just courage throughout, right? You know, and, well, actually, you know, with Han Solo, I'm not sure it's courage. It almost seems like a pathological need to fly into the face of danger constantly, right? Which is, you know, it's an amazing character. It's a deep character. Bala Tik is a great character, and he was really fascinating in this film. I really dug Bala Tik. He's awesome. All right.